Austin looks affordable until the hidden costs show up. If you're thinking about moving to Austin in 2025, this is the episode that turns vague hunches into real numbers you can use. We'll walk through rent versus buying, utilities and internet, commuting and insurance, salaries and take-home pay, schools and safety at a high level. Then I'll build two realistic monthly budgets, one for a solo renter and one for a family of three. Along the way, I'll flag a couple of fees people forget and a tax twist that can change the rent versus buy decision. Sound good? Quick roadmap. First, the housing reality, what you'll actually pay to rent or buy. Second, your paycheck math, Austin salaries and what lands in your bank after federal taxes and FISA. Third, two clear budget scenarios with smart saves and a verdict. And if you're thinking, wait, what about schools and safety? Stay with me. In about 30 seconds, you'll see how that ties directly into your neighborhood choice and total cost. Let's start with rent. For a typical one-bedroom, Austin's average sits around the low $1,400 per month. Three-bedroom rentals are commonly between about $2,300 and $2,500 per month. Does that surprise you? Where does that land for your income? Drop your number in the comments. I'll reply with a quick rent-to-income rule of thumb for your case. Buying next. Austin's median sale price has cooled from peak pandemic highs, but still lives around the mid-500,000s, with price per square foot just under $300. That means a 1,800 square foot home can easily cross $500,000 before closing costs. Here's the twist a lot of newcomers miss. Texas has no state income tax, but property taxes are some of the highest in the country. In many Austin area neighborhoods, the effective rate lands roughly in the mid 1% to low 2% range of assessed value each year. On a $550,000 home, you're talking several $1,000s annually. Think a second car payment baked into your mortgage escrow. If you're eyeing a condo or a master-planned community, expect homeowners association dues that often start in the low hundreds of dollars per month and climb from there depending on amenities. Quick question. Would you pay a higher monthly cost for a pool and gym where you live, or would you rather keep dues low and join a separate gym? What about rental yields for investors? A back-of-the-envelope gross yield uses annual rent divided by purchase price. At roughly $2,400 a month for a family-sized rental, that's about $28,800 per year. Against a $550,000 purchase, you're near a 5% gross yield before taxes, insurance, HOA, maintenance, management, and vacancies. After those, many cap rates compress into the 2 to 4% range. That's not a verdict, it's a filter. If you need cash flow today, you'll underwrite more carefully. If you're playing a longer appreciation game, neighborhood selection and school zones matter even more. Utilities. Plan on 3 buckets. Electricity, which spikes in summer, water, sewer, trash and drainage, which the city bills, and internet. A normal apartment or smaller home might spend around $120 to $160 for electricity outside peak months, higher in August. City service fees, trash, recycling and drainage can land around a few dozen monthly, depending on your trash cart size and add-ons. Internet is the most predictable. Austin has true fiber. A 1 gigabit plan from a major provider typically costs about the price of dinner for 2, with multi-gig options if you're a creator, a gamer, or just need uploads that fly. If you work from home, fiber is one of Austin's underrated perks. No, you don't have to live in the suburbs to get it. Transport time. Austin is still a car-first city, even as transit expands. The average commute hovers in the high 20 minutes across the metro, but that hides the secret. Your commute is either 15 to 20 minutes, or it's 40 minutes plus if you choose the wrong corridor. Where do you expect to travel most? Downtown, the Domain, or south near Sunset Valley? Commit to mapping your daily routine at rush hour before signing a lease. Transit exists. Metro rapid buses every few minutes on the main spines and a commuter rail that runs north-south. But most families still keep a car. Full coverage car insurance in Texas isn't cheap lately. Budgeting around the mid-100s of dollars per month per car is a fair starting point for a clean record. And more if you're young or drive a higher risk model. Street parking downtown costs a few dollars per hour. Garages vary widely, so plan for event surges on weekends. Insurance beyond the car. Homeowners premiums in Austin are lower than the Gulf Coast, but have climbed in recent years. Typical owner policies for a standard coverage level often land in the low to mid-2000s of dollars per year, more with newer replacement cost limits, or if you're in a higher risk zone. Renter's insurance is still one of the best deals in finance, often under $20 a month for solid personal property and liability protection. Pro tip: if you're renting a ground floor unit near creeks or in older buildings, ask your agent about endorsements for water backup and special limits on electronics. Let's talk salaries and take-home pay. Austin's economy is broad. Tech and semiconductors, software, healthcare, higher ed, public sector, creative services, advanced manufacturing. Median household income sits in the low 90,000s, but your reality will hinge on your role. If you're a mid-level software developer, Austin pay is competitive, with a national median solidly into six figures, with computer and math occupations among the metro's best paid. Healthcare roles, from registered nurses to allied health, are in steady demand across the region's hospital systems. And if you're relocating with a hybrid employer, Austin's fiber and airport connectivity make it easier to keep that job while lowering housing costs versus coastal markets. Now, the take-home math, using simple, conservative examples for 2025. Texas has no state or local income tax on wages. On a $90,000 single W-2 salary, after the standard federal deduction plus Social Security and Medicare, a typical take-home shakes out around $5,900 to $6,100 per month. Call it roughly 79% of gross before benefits. Married filing jointly at $150,000 combined? Expect around $10,000 a month in net pay, give or take, before you add pre-tax benefits. Your exact number varies, with 401k deferrals, health plan choices, HSA contributions and allowances. But these ranges will get you within striking distance. Schools and safety high level. Austin ISD is in the middle of a major rezoning and consolidation effort to balance budgets and enrollment, so school boundaries are shifting. Some of the highest rated public options in the metro sit in surrounding districts just west and north. If schools are your top filter, this is where a lot of families draw their search circles. Safety varies by neighborhood and time of day. Like most mid-sized metros, violent crime is concentrated in specific pockets, while property crime is higher near nightlife corridors and large parking lots. If you're moving with kids, drive the route you'd actually take at 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. and check recent incident maps. Don't just rely on old forum threads. Healthcare access? The region is served by multiple major systems. Think a flagship medical center near central Austin, a large Catholic system with trauma capability, and a broad network from a statewide nonprofit, plus a nationally ranked rehab program. For employer health plans, national averages put single coverage premiums near $9,000 a year, with typical worker contributions a little over $100 per month, and family coverage premiums around the mid-20,000s, with worker contributions in the mid-500s per month, depending on company size. Deductibles vary, but plan for high four figures on many PPOS. HSAs can help smooth surprises. Okay, let's build the budgets. Scenario 1. Solo renter working hybrid $90,000 salary. Rent, about $1,400 for a well-located one bed. Utilities, electricity $130 average over the year. Water, sewer, trash and drainage $80. Internet fiber $70. Phone $60 for an unlimited single line. Transportation, car insurance $160. Gas $120. Maintenance and registration set aside $40. Occasional downtown parking $60. Health. Employer plan worker share about $115 per month. Out-of-pocket will vary. Groceries, $350. Eating out and coffee, $200. Fitness, $40. Renter's insurance, $15. Total monthly spend, roughly $2,825 to $2,900 before discretionary extras and savings. With a net pay around $6,000 a month, you've got roughly $3,100 left for savings, debt payoff, travel, and surprises. Curiosity loop closed. This is why, at this income, renting near your office or transit spine can actually beat buying in the wrong zip code with a killer property tax bill. Savings tips for scenario 1. Choose the smaller trash cart size. Yes, that's a thing, and you'll shave a few dollars a month. Lock in a fiber plan at promo pricing, but watch the upload speeds. Creators should favor symmetric plans. If you can truly go car light, a monthly transit pass plus car share for weekend trips can put another $300 back in your pocket. Scenario 2. Family of 3 renting, $150,000 combined income. Rent, about $2,400 for a 3-bed in a family-friendly area. Utilities, electricity, $180 average. Water, sewer, trash, and drainage, $120. Fiber internet, $70. Transportation, 2 cars. Insurance, $300 combined. Gas, $250. Maintenance and registration, $70. Health. Worker share on an employer family plan around $525 per month. Again, deductibles matter, so keep an HSA or medical sinking fund. Groceries, $900. Dining and treats, $300. Kids' activities and memberships, $120. Renter's insurance, $20. Total monthly spend, about $5,250 to $5,350. With net pay around $10,000 a month, that leaves roughly $4,700 to $4,800 to allocate to emergency savings. 529 plans, retirement and fun. If schools are your main filter, consider rentals just inside top-rated districts to avoid long car lines. You'll trade a slightly higher rent for a shorter, saner day. What if you're determined to buy? Here's the quick stress test. On a $550,000 purchase with 10% down, principal and interest will depend on your rate. But add these constants: property taxes that can easily land in the $8,000 to $11,000 range annually, homeowners insurance likely in the low to mid $2,000s of dollars, and potentially a few $100s per month in HOA dues if you buy a condo or amenity-rich community. When you pencil that out, many buyers realize they're effectively renting part of their monthly payment from the tax office and the insurer. That doesn't mean don't buy. It means buy where the school fit, commute, and long-term plan justify the all-in number. 2 quick pattern interrupts before the verdict. Hidden fee number 1. Drainage and solid waste charges show up on city bills even if your water use is low. Budget for them. Hidden fee number 2. Car insurance now varies dramatically by model year and safety tech. The cheap used car is not always cheap to insure. Price the insurance before you sign the bill of sale. Verdict: if you're relocating solo at around $90,000, renting near your daily life, work, gym, friends, gives you breathing room to learn the city and save. Reevaluate buying once you've narrowed neighborhoods and have 6 to 9 months of local data on your actual bills. For families in the $140,000 to $160,000 range, Austin still works if you prioritize commute corridors and school boundaries first, and house size second. The numbers are tight in some zip codes, but the math balances when you factor no state income tax, strong job ladders in tech and health, and real fiber internet if you're hybrid or fully remote. Now I want to hear from you. Which city should we break down next? Dallas suburbs, Nashville, Tampa, or a West Coast Plan B? Comment your pick below. and then watch the next episode where we compare two Austin area school districts side by side with commute maps and actual monthly costs. If this helped, hit like so more people don't move blind. And I'll see you in the next city.